Hey guys, I'm Matt, and welcome to another episode of The Music That Made Me, a journey through my life's soundtrack. And today is a special one. We have Manthem by the Bouncing Souls off of their album How I Spent My Summer Vacation from 2001. This is it's a phenomenal album, but B, this album was very inspirational actually for the band I was in at the time. Middle Class Chaos. We actually covered this song, and we covered it so well that we actually had people request it. Um, it was unnecessary to request because we played it at every show, and we played dozens and dozens of shows with this as one of our headlining songs. If you're not familiar with the Bouncing Souls, they are a punk rock outfit out of New Jersey, dating back until from the late 80s. So they've been around for a very long time. They've had a couple of different drummers. The drummer on this album is Michael McDermott, I believe his name is. He's awesome. He hits very hard. So I remember seeing him and watching other videos with him. He is an energetic guy. He really pounds the drums when he's playing, obviously live too. But the three main guys is you have Greg on vocals, you have Brian on bass, and you have Pete on guitar. They've been the core of the band for literally ever. And this song is about the boys. It's about friends, and hence the name. It's a manthem, so it's an anthem for the boys. It's a fun song, and I had a lot of fond memories playing this song to crowds filled with our boys, filled with our friends at the time. And I'm talking when this song came out, 24 years ago, playing this song in 21 and over shows for a lot of really cool people. And then some of the shows weren't 21 and over. It just depended on the night. You had some shows where kids were allowed entry. I think it was 16 and over, if I'm not mistaken. But man, there were some good times, especially playing this song. You'd have the crowd up in your face. You'd have people jumping off stage. You'd have stage divers. You'd have everything, especially even at some of the little small venues that we would play at. But it's a high octane song, and let's get into it. One of the best bass tones you'll ever hear. Brian's bass tone was always good. There. Yeah, so you have this rolling beat with the toms, and then actually when it goes into the verse, the beat is still the same, but now it's on the kick drum. Great snare tone. Mike always has these amazing snare tones. Like I said, Brian's bass tone, with you can hear like the springs, is an awesome. I love that tone, especially in punk music. There's a lot of great bands that do it, but Brian's always stand out so much. And you just had the trade-offs. So you have Greg as their main vocalist, but then you had Pete come in and sing about calling Brian, and then you had Brian take over about saying that he's going to hang out with Steinkampf, which is Pete's last name. So again, it's about camaraderie, it's about brotherhood, and it's just a killer song. It's a killer track, and like I said, I played this song so many times, and it was always a good time. It was always a good time. All right, let's take it back. Take it back a little extra.
Whenever I'm down, I know where my praise can be found. Whenever there's a doubt, I just have to shout. He's my friend, he's my alibi, my accessory to the crime. A bond that will never die till the end of time. Till the end of time. Another night and I got somewhere to go. Going out, beating up at the punk rock show. Where the air is hot and the music is loud. My kind of place, this is my kind of crowd. And we'll be here until the night is done. Loyal to my friends and sworn to burn. He's my friend, he's my alibi, my accessory to the crime. A bond that will never die till the end of time. Till the end of time.
Such an amazing song. Great album.
Till the end of time.
Clinkies, some clinkies in the background. Again, that was Manthem from the Bouncing Souls from 2001, their album How I Spent My Summer Vacation. You'll hear me say a lot on this show, and I don't want it to be hyperbole. I don't want it to be cheapened when I say, like, this is one of my favorites, or that's one of my favorites, or he's one of my favorites, she's one of my favorites. There is a lot of music out there, and there is a lot of music that spans decades that we will be listening to together. So when I say someone is one of my favorites, I have a lot of bands and a lot of singers that I am always been in love with. So, and I guess it's in context. Like I said, it's hard to say one is definitively the best, because when it comes to genres of music, even subgenres of the same genre, like metal, for instance, or even country with the different subgenres underneath just the blanket of country music, it's very in the moment. It's very, a phase, how I'm feeling this week, how I'm feeling this month, this year, this day. Sometimes where a band or a singer will mean more to me at the time, and their songs and their albums will mean more to me at the time. Although there is a three album stretch by the Bouncing Souls, which I would consider three of the best back-to-back albums, at least in my music library. Starting with How I Spent My Summer Vacation. Then you go into another album that's awesome called Anchors Away. That's another phenomenal album. And then the next album in this trio is called the Gold Album. And again, every single one of them has like precision songwriting, catchy ass rhythms and chords, amazing choruses, and they're very well produced. They all sound great. They're kind of timeless in that they don't do one thing. Like we were talking about with like Fear Factory on the very first episode I've done in this video series, is the electronic synth kind of samples that are in metal can kind of get played out, 30 years later. Like Fear Factory Shock came out in 1998, so almost 30 years later. So it is kind of one of those things where, like, this to me has never felt old. It has never felt dated. It has never sounded old or dated either. That's the thing. Like, if I put this on now, like, there's a nostalgia for it because I have a long history of listening to these guys, even back to Hopeless Romantic and, like, the Soccer Ball album, the Bouncing Soul self-titled album. Like, there's a lot. Before this, there's like four-ish albums that came out before How I Spent My Summer Vacation. But this is the first album with Michael McDermott on drums, if I'm not mistaken. And he just brought in this, like, kind of more, like, harder, like, almost, like, brutal, like, locomotive kind of tone to the Bouncing Souls. And, you know, I got nothing against the former drummer, but I like the way that he kind of introduced his energy into the band, into this album specifically. So if you guys did love this song, check out the rest of the album, but also don't sleep on the next two albums. Don't sleep on Anchors Away and don't sleep on the Gold album. Again, this is a different style of punk. This is not like what we heard with Rancid, which is more of that street punk. This isn't really like pop punk either. I don't really know where this fits into like the punk rock family of like subgenres. But it does have a very kind of satisfying tone to it where it's very broad. Like, a lot of people could enjoy this band because you don't have like the dirty grittiness of Tim Armstrong and Lars Frederiksen's voice, or Al Barr and Ken Casey's voice from Rancid and Dropkick Murphys respectively. The grit, that's what our band had. Our band had the grit and like the gravel. Greg just has just like uplifting, hey, kind of voice, and he does it great. And it fits the music because the music is usually very upbeat and happy, and Greg's voice is perfect for it. So like I said, I played this song a lot. It has a special place in my heart. Not only is a song that I used to play a lot of, but is also an album I've been listening to with extreme regularity since it came out. This is definitely in my normal rotation. I used to do a top 10 albums ever produced for me. Like I was telling you with like my top 5 or my Desert Island albums. Desert Island albums are not necessarily my top 5 favorite albums. Those are just the 5 albums that I could see myself listening to in a Desert Island situation, where, if you don't remember me talking about this, I think I talked about this on the Pliny episode. I don't remember. I talked about this on a prior episode. Oh, maybe it was my Killswitch Engage episode, actually. One or the other, because both of those albums, the whole idea is that you have to be strategic with the 5 albums you would take with you on a desert island. I would never take 5 of the same genre. I would never take multiple from the same band. But this album is in my top 10 ever produced. How I Spent My Summer Vacation is an absolutely monster of an album. And, you know, you go through all the different albums that you would ever listen to and love. This is definitely in there. Like, Pliny Handmade Cities is on my Desert Island list, but I don't think it's a top 10 album for me. It's a top 5 album in my Desert Island situation because of the genre it represents and just the difference. But what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I think this is great. I love this album. I love this song specifically. And like I said, if you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, like the video, tell your friends. And if you have any questions, find me on my website, mattjamesauthor.com. I'm also all over social media. Just search me, you'll find it. You can check out my Amazon page if you're curious about my work, my books and stuff. And we'll see you in the next episode of The Music That Made Me. Thanks, guys. Bye.